Hey loves, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Tyla, and today we're talking all about ascension symptoms. So ascension symptoms are the physical symptoms that you get in your body as a result of doing deep inner work, spiritual healing, and raising your vibration and consciousness. So these shifts usually take place on a physical, emotional, mental, and energetic, as well as spiritual level, and it's your body's way of recalibrating you to a higher frequency. So the first and major sign that your body is going through ascension symptoms is if you've been feeling very drained or exhausted. So as you are shifting and raising your vibration, your body is going to need time to catch up. So during this time, it's very important to make sure that you are getting the proper rest, that you're allowing your body to catch up and recalibrate itself, and being gentle in the process. Another major sign is if you notice that you have heightened sensitivity, whether that's to people, whether that's to sounds, lights, or just energy, and you're feeling a lot more sensitive or maybe even a lot more empathetic lately, that's a major sign as well that you're experiencing ascension symptoms. So during this phase, it's really great to take some time to spend in solitude to work through what it is that you're feeling so that you don't feel overwhelmed by other energies as you're working through your own. So another major sign is if you notice that you're having a lot of vivid dreams, or even if your sleep patterns are a little bit off. As you're raising your consciousness and are doing deep inner healing, there's a lot that's taking place on a subconscious level, which is why it may start to affect your sleep. Another ascension symptom is emotional waves. So this may be a period of time when you start feeling very emotional. You may notice that certain feelings are starting to come up. Maybe you're getting angry, maybe you're crying a lot. You're just going through a deep purge on a spiritual and energetic level. So make sure that you're also being patient with yourself during this time. If you notice that certain feelings start to come back, or you're just feeling in a lot of ways that you don't really understand, make sure that you give yourself grace through this process and that you are taking time to work through these emotions that come up, because it is a big part of your healing and your ascension. Another ascension symptom is if you notice that you're getting body aches and pain. So if you're noticing that you're having a lot of headaches or tension around your crown area, your neck, your back, your spine, that can be a sign of an energetic upgrade. Another major sign is if you're having changes within your diet and your appetite. So when you go through a energetic upgrade or just a spiritual ascension, you may be drawn to eat a lot cleaner. You may not want to eat certain foods anymore. You may not even have an appetite, and these are all completely normal when going through a spiritual upgrade. For me personally, this is usually the time when I like to fast and eat a lot more live foods like fruits, vegetables, things like that. That's another reason as well for me why I went vegan, because I noticed that as I was raising my consciousness and just my energy levels were changing, I didn't really resonate with eating certain foods anymore, like meat or just dairy, because a lot of those things are processed and they do affect your energy because it's not actual live food. And a lot of the times during that process, the animals are in a state of panic, stress, depression. So energy transfers, and once you eat certain things, it does affect your energy levels. So this is going to be different for everybody because everybody's journey is different. So do what you feel resonates with you and what you feel called to do. Another major sign is if you're starting to feel detached or just kind of stuck in between certain worlds or just certain feelings. Maybe you're going through a period of time where you're detaching yourself from old ways of living or old mindsets or just things that don't resonate with you anymore, and you're kind of stepping into that new version of yourself in that new life. This is a very tricky part of the process because sometimes it feels like you're stuck. Sometimes it feels a little bit like you don't know what's going to happen next. So make sure that you're also patient with yourself during that time, and don't really force anything during this period. If you know that you're needing to let go and release certain things that aren't aligning with a new version of you, make sure that you release those things, because it's going to be very difficult if you are raising your consciousness but still entertaining things that are keeping you in a lower vibration. Now, another major sign is if you are craving more solitude, because this is when you can really take that time to reflect on your new realizations and new things that you're feeling, or just discovering inner parts of yourself. And this is a very important part of your journey and your growth. So make sure that you do take that time to yourself. Another major sign is if you start getting certain downloads or just certain spiritual insights. I know for me personally on my journey, as I've been raising my consciousness and just coming more into a higher level of awareness and aligning myself spiritually, I start receiving a lot more inspiration, creative ideas. All of these things will really start to flow to you. So to give you guys a few things to help you work through these symptoms, one is going to be grounding. This one is going to be very, very important. So make sure that you are practicing different grounding techniques. For me, that looks like going outside. I like to walk barefoot. I like to meditate and do some yoga and just journal what I'm feeling. That's another thing that I would recommend, is to keep up and be aware of your emotions and the things that you're purging and releasing, especially if you're doing a lot of healing work and inner work. So make sure that you are keeping track of that and documenting that. Another thing that I will say as well is to make sure that you're eating healthy and that you're drinking a lot of water, especially water, preferably alkaline water if you can, but that's going to help you a lot during this time also. And like I said, eating live fruits, foods, things that give you life and energy is going to also be a major help for you. Our body is a huge reflection of the things that we also experience emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, which is why you'll notice that sometimes it starts taking effect on you physically. So that's it for this video, you guys. I do hope that you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out and much love.